Consider the wound. No ideas but in wounds. I is that wound, with its slight aura, archival glamour, gaslit corridors, its famous sunsets that day glow on water. The storied rays travel. To consider wounds that grow through life, illuminate and expand into a primal struggle. To be able to say, I was here. In everyday enunciation, the wound lifts from sorrow, and it grows, taking years to love a wound in all its glory. Days go on, watching clouds change into the mirror of the world, which is my face, which is a threshold, a name, a proving ground, an education in wounds. I can't explain it, I know it's true, like when a dove becomes a scarf. This is what it feels like to come. The skyline bent in the window, autumnal consonants, a musical light. It was good. The imagination, fan-like shadows, the garden reflecting the primitive, a scent of camphor. Days go on, broadly scattered, and move from a state of unknowing to a condition of the unknown. Consider the wound with its canonical doubt, call stories and testimony, indexical zeal for origins and etymologies. Wund, wuntha, wunda, und. The mother opens every wound. The wound opens every word. The asymmetries of a body in the act of elegy, ungainly in its pilgrimage. Trauma in the genes, a cellular memory of torn events. Walking beneath the shadow of warplanes, shadows falling on the wildflowers and timothy grass. Days with their loud repetitive phrasing, spiraling down the scale, carry and echo their uneven sky of development. And the magnificence of a backward glance, proud trees and hillocks, proud lakes, the privileged nostalgia of that. Or the podium in dead air and the sound of power, dead air in which we wait for the candidates to enter. The sound of dead air and the dead metallurgical sound of power, a static gunpowder sting folding space. To feel the wrought iron columns and buttresses rising in the boy, welding the triumphal history of the industrial dawn to the soft tissue of the body, a full bleed. Who replaced my child with this ledger with a screed? The heart in the adult measures 5 inches in length, 3 inches in width. The average weight varies from 10 to 12 ounces. Days go on, warbled notes, a jumble of fussing. Even the first hours of agony are still new. Ancient wounds trickle fresh blood. Will I still be standing when nothing is more than enough? To be nowhere. I could live there, far from myself, along with a crescent, free to shimmer and outlive my sorrow. Consider its eerie call in every shape of pain. Wounds of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. Consider the flesh, its tendentious commentary, its kin rituals, its shrill monotony like a sewing machine. Days with their glottal rattle and high trill. What was it you wanted? Were you talking to me? Days whistle and tweet their spackled feelings, wounds that neither sow nor reap, yet the air feeds them. If a wound could speak, what would it say? The ride is a dream. Windmills and war and children, sleep and waking. The grifting of time flies through everything. For every wound belonging to me, as good belongs to you. Days go on, a harsh croak, a low quacking. Consider the wound, to refuse closure, to not let go, to lose myself in a majesty. Tears soften the heart. Welcome them into the theater, let the salt run down my face. It may be the last thing I see. Days with their systems, the mirror staged. Days go on into a heady blossom of joy and sorrow, a complex ecology, a necessary weather of becoming. The wound woke me at 6 a.m. outside a field, a hollow and an oak, the morning star above. The wound woke me with its light. Hold on to the last things I see and can't explain. To know its truth, to have felt this as a boy. Soloing inside, worrying the syntax between wound and wounding. A carnal dance, alive in a dark theater. What can I say? Retreats back into a wound, wrung out into abstraction, blah. I want new vistas, viscera, want earth in my mouth, a collective breath, sweet noise of becoming, a kind of testimony, a disordered proof, a part of sex, more than sex. It was time, the nature of time I sensed happening, that death is happening. All that was left is where I am now.